Welcome to Gretchen's Garden and Greenhouse. I'm picking pole beans right now, and we'll kind of take you through what we're going to be doing this week and what we've been doing. So let's first of all go take a look at what Al's been doing with his pruning.
It's going. Okay, you going?
Yep.
All right. I've been working on these bushes, as you can see by those back this way, getting them trimmed down, and I'm just working my way around the yard, and I'm finishing this one up. I'll get the last of them here, and I'm just trimming these down so they're all about the same. And instead of figuring out what to do with these, figuring out what to do with these, I just cut them up to make mulch. All these little tips are nice and soft, they cut real easy. And we've been mulching like this for the last several years. It's a good way to take care of this kind of stuff. And let's see, I
was just taking a look at the peony behind you.
Ed, what's that, sweetheart?
Look at this peony behind you. The cutter bees have been here.
Oh my gosh, they've just chewed it all up, haven't they?
Yeah.
Look how they work the edges there. Oh, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Let me finish chopping this up, and I'm getting ready to move on to the next bush, which is that guy back in the corner. And as you can see, it's, if you want to follow along in the yard there, Gretchen, I'll just cut through the back of the bed here. And as you can see, this one has got some pretty tall stuff in it. This one I've already pruned this one, so it's good. But all I'm going to do is kind of cut this one down to about this level, even with my chest. So I'll just reach in and grab a bunch of those, and I'll turn these into mulch as well. Now, meanwhile, across the yard, Gretchen has been, she found a couple of bushes, and she's transplanting them, going to put them in the greenhouse for this summer. Let's take a look at that.
Well, I wanted to show first, I'm going to come back here. I was telling Al earlier in the week that we probably aren't going to get a lot of hazelnuts this year, because I can see the remains of what's on the ground, and as I look around, we can pick up a few, but I do think there's been a squirrel in this tree up here, and he's been feasting on our hazelnuts.
Yeah, when I walked out this morning, he was sitting on the fence looking at me come across to start trimming, and he scolded me a little bit.
Okay.
You ready to head across the yard?
Take a look at my bushes that I've been working on, my bush I worked on. It's over by the waterfall, the back of the waterfall. This bush that you see here, that's on the back of our waterfall, and it had grown clear out over into these rocks, which is our pathway to get to the waterfall to clean it, and also I bring the hose up this way to fill the water, or the pond. So it was growing here, and I kept stepping on it, and I knew I was going to trip. So yesterday I got the clippers out and clipped it back. Well, as I was clipping, I found right down in here and over here 2 little bushes. And these are starts from this bush. So I just, I haven't potted them properly yet. I just threw them in these buckets with some dirt to protect the roots. But I will be putting those in some nice sized pots, and I'm going to winter them in the greenhouse. So next spring I can figure out, well, I kind of have some ideas where I'm going to put them. And so I'll plant them out next year, and we'll have a couple nice bushes. I've always loved the way this one grows against the waterfall.
And I think the birds kind of eat on these berries in the...
I think so, in the winter more, not yet.
Yeah.
But look at here. Here's a weed coming up right in there.
They are. They're all over the place yet.
I was hoping that I might be able to plant this right in here and continue this. And I'll see next spring. It would be kind of fun if I could plant it right in there.
Yeah, that sure would be.
Yeah. And I think it kind of stabilizes the rocks. So let's take a look over in the raised beds and see what we've got going in there right now. This is our crop of provider beans, bush beans, and they really do produce. I recommend this particular.
And they're stringless, just in case you're interested.
Yeah, they're really yummy, and they're stringless, and they just really produce good. So, and they make nice, good sized beans. And even at this size, they still are good inside. So, yum. Ooh, that's good. And then right down here, you can see these are the microgreens that we planted earlier, and we've been eating on those some. And then our peas that we planted are coming up. We don't know if we're in time to get a fall crop or not, but there they are.
And here's what I'm looking forward to, yes.
Yeah, here are our...
We're going to hit those up tomorrow.
Tomorrow we'll be eating those. While Al is in his radiation treatment, he can't have radishes during the week before his treatment, so on Saturday he can have those, so we'll start eating those Saturday.
And over here in number 3, I'm working on a project.
Oh, let's take a look at that.
What we have here is our peppers, and I'm going to be working on the peppers throughout the week. But this is a poblano pepper, and is it a 2 or a 3 year pepper?
2 year. This is
2
second year.
Second year. And so what we did is we grew this last year in the garden, and when fall came around, we dug it up, put it in a pot, and put it in the greenhouse. And now we're in our second year, and the peppers that were sown were sweet and just slightly warm last year, are sweet and real warm this year, to the point where, well, I can't eat them raw like I used to, so we're having to save them for winter use and in soups and stews and stuff like that. So I'll be working on those this week, getting them ready and freezing them. And speaking of the greenhouse, now this is probably going to go back into the greenhouse this year, so it'll be year 3 next year, and they'll probably get real hot by next year.
Yeah, and then we also, this is some of our sweet peppers over here.
Yeah, I like that one.
And this is a really nice one, and then this is a really nice one over here too.
Yeah.
We have some nice big peppers. I don't know how many pepper plants. This is the second year for this one. So I might want to try to save it, and probably that one next to it over there at least. Those are really nice ones, and they're good and sweet when they get red.
Which means they're going to the greenhouse eventually here, probably in the next few weeks, because we're getting close to fall. Yeah. And speaking of the greenhouse, we'll finish up over there with a project that Gretchen has been working on, and she'll share that with you.
Well, here we are in the greenhouse, and let me kind of describe my thought process. If you remember, we have this tomato that seeded itself. And by the way, it is starting to produce. Even though I keep pruning it back, we're getting some tomatoes on here. And these are obviously our little cherry type tomatoes. So the idea is I'm just going to keep letting it grow up. But if I could grow this, why can't I grow a big tomato, like one of our bodacious tomatoes in here that we love? Well, I just really didn't have the space. So this was my potting bench, and it was right along here. And this
going back to the corner over here,
going clear over here. Yeah. Yes. And this, it was the top of it, but I had it over here and just using it as shelves. So what I did is I moved this over here, put the shelf back on top of it, and I kind of like the way it's working. I had to raise it a little bit in order to have it fit in here because of some other things, and I kind of like the height of it too. I was able to get my water back underneath there. Now what I have is this space. And I'm going to pull those rocks back down to the dirt and probably put some compost in there. And I've got a small bodacious growing in the berry patch. I'm going to try to save it and put it there and see if we can have some bodacious.
Well, but also, wouldn't it be fun if we can do like we do with the pepper plants, with tomato plants, and move them back and forth? That would be sort of interesting.
That
It
would
might
be
kind of
interesting,
increase our spring, or get us spring tomatoes earlier.
And I get a little concerned about how hot it gets in here, even on a sunny day. And so I've got sunshades here, but I'm really getting a lot of heat right there on those up above. So I think we're going to try to, I've got some more of this, and we'll try to hang some of it across here and see if we could cut down a little bit on the heat. However, this tomato, it's been getting up to 120 in here, according to my
It planted itself and whatever.
It doesn't mind the heat, so.
But I think it's because it's direct in the ground, and I think stuff in the roots don't get that hot.
Yeah.
I think it's when you have them in a pot and it gets to 120 degrees,
yeah,
the roots
the
are
roots get
120 then too.
So this is kind of a mess now. We've got stuff all over, so I've got a little work to do in here. And I come out after it gets too hot outside. It's way too hot in here, so I kind of have to work back and forth between the outside and inside to try to get my work done. But we've got about a couple weeks to go.
It's going to be a fun project to watch it unfold.
Yeah, and I'm also been thinking about this over here. This is kind of wasted space. I've just kind of got stuff stacked in here. So I've been thinking about doing some stuff here too. Like maybe if I move the heater up on top of here, I could plant maybe a pepper or something there. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm trying to utilize all the space in the greenhouse.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of Gretchen's Garden and Greenhouse. See you next week.